Come on, come on, come on. I am on the battlefield for my Lord. Oh, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Well, I promised him that I'm gonna serve him till I die. Oh, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Back when I was a little girl, I thought hats had a mind of their own. Every woman in our church, Nazarene Baptist Church, wore one. Big women wore big hats with big crowns and big brims.
Yeah.
And little women wore little pillbox hats. I'd sit next to my mother and watch as all the hats expressed themselves. If a hat liked what the preacher said, it would nod up and down. If a hat liked a song, it would sway from side to side, just like this right here. If a hat thought you were talking too loud, it would whip in your direction. And if a hat was angry with you, its brim would dip just above a mother's eye.
That's right.
And those could be some fierce eyes.
People who live in glass houses.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
Yes.
lady, let me beg your forgiveness before I begin.
Yeah, Lord.
Because I've been checking the tithe records,
Yeah.
and although most of you wear new hats every Sunday, your lawns empty. But I need to know right now from you, how can that be? You ladies in your wardrobes, I went to a convention once, and at this convention up in Memphis, Tennessee, I believe it was, there was a woman that entered the room. She came in and she had on a very big fur hat. And along with that hat, she had the matching full-length fur coat. And as I began to think, I looked further, and behind the heel of her shoe, she had two very dangly balls from each one. Incredible was the sight. Now, I'm not sure, but I might be mistaken, but I do believe that we don't enter into the house of the Lord for form, neither fashion.
Yeah.
If I am to believe what I am to believe, it is that we come here to be refreshed
yes, it's fresh.
and renewed in the Spirit of the Lord.
Yeah, Lord.
But for whatever reason, there are Sundays that pass, and you all say that you cannot come this Sunday because you do not have the wardrobe.
Yes.
Yes. Take my life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to Thee. Take my moments and my days, all to You in endless praise. All to You in endless praise. Yes. Yes, Lord. Oh,
All
yeah.
right now.
It was about when Jesus met the woman at the well.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, you know, sisters, sometimes we talk too much.
Too much.
Well,
Amen.
say so.
But the things we need to tell, follow me now.
All right.
We don't tell.
All right.
Show.
I said, when Jesus had told that woman everything that she had done, the Bible says that she ran.
Right.
She what?
The Bible says that she ran
Yay!
Hallelujah.
back into the city.
Yes.
You know, we were running and tell everything we don't need to.
Yeah.
How many of us will tell our neighbors the truth? That's right. Tell them that they need to be saved.
Yeah.
Yes,
Help.
Lord.
Tell them that God will set them out.
Say so now.
All the spirit was moving in that place. It was. And you know, in holiness churches, we don't sit down. We got to get up and make some.
All right
Yeah.
now.
And I've been a pastor for 23 years, so I'm not ashamed. I'm a good side of the Lord.
Yes.
So, you know, when I started talking about that thing, I had to demonstrate, like a demonstrate. And I went to run across that stage, I went to run across that pulpit. Yes, I did. And my hat was one way and I went the next.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God. My hat didn't fall off to somebody else. Ain't no way to keep them on. So one of the members there was picking up for me and hold it until I sit down, please. But you know, when the hat come on,
Just make sure you don't leave, man.
when the hat come on, all and the people, when the people I'm telling you, it's a blessing. And so, I'll move on, and the hat will come on, and praise God. And mother, I'll tell you. And so, when they bring that hat on back to me, that Sunday I realized when that hat came off, I almost got to my car. And I said, wait a minute, where's my hat? And I went back to the church. And I went to the church mother, and she had it for me. She said,
I was hoping you wouldn't come back. I wanted to keep this hat.
is that right, Lord? Well, I wear a hat every Sunday.
Yes.
Because I have to settle in sin. The Bible says, women, you should copy me. And you should dress modest. Yes, it does. What I look like as the first lady of the church. I'm going to give a flip all on up my lip. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to tell the young woman that this or that is an important.
So good.
Simple as that. You have these young women. They come to the church in these short skirts. And they'll sit right on the front row. Oh, I'll tell one of the nurses going over there, scoff. Because you got my husband up here trying.
Man.
And you got these young women sitting there on the front row with the gates of hell wide.
Yeah, Lord. Now, when I was a little girl, Mistress Mary was one of my favorite persons. Why, she would come to church on Sunday mornings, and she would sit near the front. And Mrs. Mary loved to sing. Ooh, before the sermon, after the sermon, she sang, and nobody had to ask her to sing. I could see her right now, walking across the front of the church, just to sing back and forth, back and forth. Why should I discouraged? Yes. Yes, sir.
All right now, sing.
righteous, none but the righteous. Oh, none but the righteous shall see God.
Brooklyn, New York. That's where I belong. In Brooklyn. Then my mother sent me to live with my grandma. Now I'm here in Darlington, South Carolina.
Yeah.
I started a new school, North High, with a very unique style. The reaction I got shocked me. On my first day of school, I was walking down the hallway and I passed what felt like the entire school laughing at me. I don't know what I had on, but I knew it was one of my usual unique hats and outfits. Everybody thought I was crazy. They said,
We don't wear those kind of things here.
all they wore were jeans, t-shirts, and overalls.
Fresh.
People thought I was a voodoo woman or a witch or something. It really upset me. But I guess some of the teasing might have been my fault. And it didn't help that I was from New York, because New Yorkers aren't very nice to strangers, you know. There was this one girl. She would follow me up and down the hallway. And every time I would say something, she'd say it back. If I said you again, she'd say,
You again?
what's your problem?
What's your problem?
Back off.
Back off.
I took it for a whole year. I started tripping. But then I just got more outrageous. This one time I took a baseball cap and attached a fake punk shirt to the back. The football guys called me.
Stupid.
I guess I dressed like that for the show now. But it was also an effort to be myself. I chose to look that way and that gave me a sense of power. This one time, I wore my brother's baseball cap with the bill cocked to the side. Yeah, I was blazing. And I walked right up to them, and I stuck my fingers in their faces, and I said, you tried to change me, but I'm still me. And I've had way more than this trifling teasing, and I ain't gonna crack.
She ain't talking to you.
They backed off after that. Can y'all imagine if I wore this at the church on Sunday? I'd have to turn the bill to the side, of course. Nah, I don't really give that side thing. I'd turn it to the back. I'd be the talk of the church. They say,
mercy.
Put something on your head.
Girl, we need
Somebody need to talk about
no understand.
About love.
love.
a love that'll make you change.
Love. Yeah. It's
I know.
everlasting.
A love that'll make you want to do right.
That's right. Everlasting.
Everlasting love. I'll hold you.
Yes.
What are you going to do when your mountains come?
Yes.
What am I going to count on? Material things?
Diamond ring.
Come and go.
Can't keep you warm.
Yes.
When all is ashes to ashes and done, and all that seems forever is no more.
Yes. 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 Today, I don't own a lot of hats, but there was a time when I had to slip the hats into my house. I had over 200 hats, and my husband would say,
Where did you get this one? Not another hat. Come on now.
Oh, you know me.
I ain't seen that hat before.
Oh, he thought I was too stubborn. He thought I was too stubborn.
Where you going to put that hat? Ain't enough room in here for me now.
So I would leave them down at my sister's Olivia, and then I would come back for them. I would just bring them home whenever I could. I was married
47 years.
to a good husband named Donnell, but everyone called him
JT.
Now, I think I was about 12 years old when I first met JT.
But you had a liking for it.
Oh,
Who? Prelo?
Prelo.
I must have had about 8 to 10 hats when I married JT. And I was working a job that wasn't paying that much. But in 1963, I started teaching and making a little more money. And as I made the money, I would buy some more hats. I would buy about 10 or 12 hats a season. I just wanted those hats. But after 15 years, we built a bigger house and I started buying more hats. I would put them in the bedroom closet. I would put them in the guest room.
Then she'd put them in the storage off the side of the garage.
And then I would have shelves built in the basement.
Lord.
My husband would say, where did you get that hat? And I would say, oh, you've seen this one before. And he would say, no,
I haven't.
I did not. The house is too small. And I said, well, I will make more room. But he was right. The house was crowded. That's why I started slipping them in. And then I would take them over to Mabel, and she'd say,
Oh, here you come. The woman who would rather have good hair than would you get her another hat?
oh, she was my critic, all right.
Don't you even put that down there. Go ahead, take that back.
I would leave them at her house for a day or two. You see, my husband had a laundromat, and when he went down there at night,
Come to my house. Bring those funky hats.
but I stopped doing that. I just brought the hats in. One day, I said, I am keeping my hats. It's my money, and it's my house,
Yeah.
and I am not going to change, and you're not going to make me.
Can anybody do anything with this stubborn woman?
Oh, after that, he didn't say too much because he knew what I meant. And when I got a new hat, he just looked.
As a little girl, I'd admire women who wore beautiful hats to church. They looked like beautiful dolls, like they had just stepped out of a magazine. But I also knew how hard they worked all week.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes, under those hats, there's a lot of joy and a lot of sorrow.
Today, I don't own a lot of hats.
Now, I never was interested in hats until I became a licensed funeral director in 1981. I must have worn hats in a previous life because ever since I bought that first one, I love a hat. came home, I rolled up a paper bag, I put it on my head, and I looked at myself. I said, she's just telling a tale. One time, not long after I got started, some old neighbors of mine lost their mother. Sweet. Always kept pretty flowers. Miss Lizzie always wore hats. Her daughter came in for the consultation.
Could she be buried in a hat?
Yeah, baby, we can do anything you want. But I was really worried. I'd never seen a woman in a casket with a hat on. We've never done that before. It was a beautiful black and white straw hat with a lot of lace. But it had this wide brim. I thought I was going to have to split it in the back to make it lay flat on the pillow, but I folded it. And that worked out. Miss Lizzie was pretty in her white suit and her black and white hat.
That's her. Oh, that's her.
The family loved it. Everybody loved it. You know, if a woman wears a hat, she's gonna look naked in the casket without one. Nowadays, we bury more women with their hats on. Some families would say, if it doesn't work, don't worry about it. But I always make it work. Yeah, I'm gonna make it work. Last year, one of my best friends in the world died. And she was buried in a hat too. One lady came in, looked at her, and said,
Look, she sure is walking around having
said, I want you to go down to the bedroom and
grab my hat top of my closet. So I go to the room and see my house. On the way there, I just think about how some things in life are always put herself first.
Oh, yeah.
Put her first. And so when she got her good hat, took care of her. She took care of her. She not proud of her. She kept proud of everything she had. Anything. So I thought that's the story. You go. One of the hats I picked out was the fox hat.
The fox hat.
The day of my mother's funeral. It was a cold day in January. It started misting, and I didn't have on a hat. I thought about what my mother used to say. Put something on your head. Put something on your head. Put something on your head.
Lots of family history.
Lots of families.
Lots of family history. Pass it down. Pass it down. Pass it down. When I bought this old time hat, Lord, I know Daddy was either gonna love it or he was gonna hate it.
One or the other.
Lord, look, I remember the first time he saw the hat. Daddy burst into the biggest smile, and then he started laughing. Now I said, what's the matter, Daddy? Now I said, do you like it or not? Because I wasn't sure if he was picking at me. So I said, do you like it or not?
Yeah, I like it, Jeanette. I think your mother has one just like it.
And Daddy was a hat man himself. Daddy was. Child, he wouldn't step out the door without a hat on his head. Lord, Doris wore them all the time. And it might be why he was bald headed. But every time I wore this hat, Daddy would burst into the biggest smile. Lord. Whew. About 4 or 5 years later, after I had bought the hat, Daddy had got sick. And it was cancer. Lord, and I wanted to do everything that I could to make him happy. One of the things I did was to wear this hat when I went to visit him.
Ah, you look just like your mama. Just like her.
Lord, if I showed up wearing a different hat, he'd say,
Nah, Jeanette, when you gonna wear that hat out like it is?
Daddy wanted to make it to his 70th birthday, which was October 27th.